Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Rodan. So, alright then, for today's video I'll be speaking about something that's low budget, something obscure, and yes, of course, a blast from the past, which I've often done anyway, so why stop now? Again, there's going to be yet another Western film I'll be talking about, because why not? Okay, I was going to speak about something old anyway, so why stop now? And okay, this is the film we've been talking about quite clearly, and quite obviously, let's talk about the plot, shall we? So let's just get into it as usual. So here we go. Anywho, you can see that in this movie, there was this character Ted that returns from World War One to find everyone thinks he was dead. So yeah, that gets quite complicated as you might expect. The culprit is Kent, who pretty much intercepted his mail, and yes, obviously, there's a bad person, there's a villain in here, and yes, quite clearly, pretty much took over the his ranch and is now after Ted's girl friend, and yes, obviously, he must be stopped. Anyway, when Kent's henchman fails to kill Ted, Kent shoots Ted's father and leaves him for dead, but only wounded. The plan is to have this individual appear as a ghost to get a confession from Kent. So yes, there's also a bit of drama thrown into this movie. I mean, you just as well, I guess, because these things happen when it comes to drama type stuff. But anyway, that's the thing though. I tend to review Western dramas anyway, and that's what I would do. And that's the thing though. I've reviewed quite a few Western dramas a while back, and I'd do it again here. But anyway, this is definitely is supposed to be centered around the Wild Wild West kind of thing, to some extent, I guess you can say. So yes, the main character, he must correct the wrong. He must somehow do the right thing here. Quite obviously, he thought he must do the right thing here in some kind of fashion because considering the fact that's what these types of characters tend to do, and they must protect the innocent in some kind of fashion. And that's what he wants to do here. Obviously, this is a low production value type film, and yes, it may not be the most fanciest thing ever, but what can you do, I guess? It's fine. So there's nothing really going to be anything too fancy about what they're doing here. So just keep that in mind, folks. And yes, obviously, I do know that this may not be everybody's cup of tea, but that's fine by me. I honestly don't mind it really. I'm not really here to follow a trend. No, this is my damn channel. And I do what I want, I suppose. So there's that. Anywho, ultimately, that this is definitely a pretty entertaining film, I would say. It has moments. So yes, after a soldier comes back from the war to his small western town, everyone is shocked to see him. Oh, he's not dead? Yeah, they thought he was dead. There you go. He's incredibly puzzled by this though, quite obviously. So that's definitely is a thing. Yeah, he wrote almost everyone any chance he had, but of course the villain is up to no good. He was trying to make sure that nobody will be aware of what he is. The villain's trying to really crack down on the hero's intention and stop him, of course. So that's definitely is a thing here. Ultimately, this wasn't too shabby. I can definitely tell that the people who were behind this film were really trying to make this suspenseful in some ways. They're trying to make it crazy. Yeah, but yeah, in a lot of ways it works. It definitely works in a lot of ways. This is definitely something I would recommend if you're into this genre. If this is something that you really did enjoy. So there's that. Quite clearly, I will say that it has moments throughout the entire thing here. I did like the idea here, the idea of the characters in this Wild Wild West kind of a storytelling where it's usually the good guy versus bad guy kind of a thing in these movies, and yes, this is no different. Of course, that's definitely gonna be a thing here. And I'm not really complaining, but that seems to be the type of formula that these movies would tend to follow. We know who's the good guy, and we know who's the bad guy. So the hero is, of course, isn't going to sacrifice his morals for anybody that's bad, quite clearly. It's nice to see that this movie has its moments. Those are pretty good fight sequences throughout the entire thing. But yeah, that's definitely is a thing, folks. And those are quite nice. It's nicely done throughout the entire story. And they like the acting. The acting as a whole, you're gonna really tell there was some actual genuine effort to make the characters believable. We put a lot of thought into it throughout the entire story, where you can see that the actors and actors are really trying to put their own craft into this. So that's definitely a good thing. I like that. I really did. But ultimately, I can really say is that I had a good time watching this because, for one, I thought the editing was pretty good. I like the editing here. It wasn't too shabby for what they were trying to aim for, so I can't complain really. At the end of the day, in regards of that, I suppose. I mean, yes, of course, just because they didn't have that much money put to it, that doesn't necessarily mean he has to be a bad thing, of course. They just want to make do with what they have. They just want to make do with whatever source they have here. And that in itself is not a bad thing, of course. I don't mind it really. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. So yes, they're quite limited. They just have to make do with what they have. So that's fine. I did like with the when I say they, of course I'm referring to the people that were behind this movie, the people who were responsible for this kind of storytelling. So there was that. But anyway, folks, the Western genre is a genre I keep revisiting because, for one, there's some good movies here, quite a few actually. And yes, I keep revisiting this quite a few times. And I know I've already mentioned this in one of my previous videos, but I do have a playlist just for Western, just throwing it out there. And if you're a Western junkie, if you're one of these people that have to watch a lot of Western films, then I would definitely recommend this because it was nicely done in the grand scheme of things. I thought it was nicely done what they were trying to aim for the type of characters they're trying to display on screen, who's the hero and whatnot. So ultimately, I didn't think it was too bad what they were trying to aim for. Ultimately, this was a well-made film. Anyway, I'll give this film an overall rating of a 7.1 out of 10. It gets a 7.1 out of 10 for me. So, of course, as always, thanks for watching and take care. Until next time, see ya later.